Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this new session. My name is Fabio, and I will be your professor today. So, this is our 13th class of this process that we have taken through the Skype and through Microsoft Teams. This class is being recorded for you so you can access to it at any moment that you require. So, welcome all, and let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that it's very important when you want to learn English. And first of all, we are going to start with an activity. So, let me share my screen in order to start. All right. So, let me just be sure that you are hearing me. Yes. All right. So, let's go. Our activity for starting this class is about the passive voice. And what you have to do? Well, you are going to organize this sentence. So you have 5 seconds. Ready? Okay. The answer is Saturn's rings were discovered by Galileo. Very good. Number two. Are you ready? Okay. So the answer is the film Iron Right. Um, Let me remember. The Iron Lady uh, is based on the mm, on the life of Margaret Thatcher. I don't know this woman, but I think that she's very important because they created a movie for her. Imagine that. So next, all right, mobile phones weren't invented by Apple. Next, gold was first discovered in 1848. Let's go with the next one. All right, lemons and sugar are used to make lemonade. Next, okay, first games console was invented by Ralph Beer. Amazing. Okay, guys, here we have the last one. So let's try it again. Okay, so the Patronus toe are designed by architect by Argentinian by an Argentinian architect. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I hope that you have done a great job with this activity. And now we're going to start to discuss about the main topic of this, okay? So in this part, I want you to tell me, do you know what passive voice is? If you don't know what is it, you can take 10 minutes on Google to investigate about it. You can use your phone, you can use your tablet, your computer in order to access to the internet, and then try to tell me what is passive voice, right? Try to collect as much information as you can, and when you are done, you can write the information on the chat, right? And we will discuss if that's true, if that's correct, if you have a good idea or not a good idea about the passive voice. Okay, guys, so stop the video in this moment, take 10 minutes, and you come back, please. Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you for that research. I hope you have found pretty cool information about this. So now, what we are going to do, we are going uh, to see, to to yes, to know the grammar about this topic. So, guys, first of all, what is passive voice? Well, passive voice is a way in which we can express who did something, but in a very sophisticated way and in a very polite way, right? That's why we use passive voice for to be and to express things more sophisticated, right? So, guys, here we have the recommend a museum. Okay, then we have the grammar plus, so we're going to read the passive voice. Read with me, follow me. The active voice focuses on the performer of an action. The passive voice focuses on the receiver of an action. So here we have a big difference, right? The active voice is focused on the performer, while the passive voice is focused on the receiver. What does it mean, guys? It means that in the passive voice, we're going to take into account first the object or the predicate of the sentence. Here we have an example. In the active voice, I mean in the normal speaking way that we always are trying to speak, we would say Picasso painted Guernica in 1937. In this case, Picasso is the subject and is the performer of the action. So Picasso was the one who did the action. So in active voice, Picasso, we focus on the performer. What happens with the passive voice? As I already mentioned, in the passive voice, the yes, the object is going to be the most important thing, right? So what is the object? Of course, Guernica. So first you add Guernica, and then you have to say was painted by Picasso in 1937. In this context, Guernica is the receiver of the action. So it becomes the most important, right? Pretty cool. Let's go with the second. Explanation. Form the passive voice with a form of be and the past participle of a verb. Okay, so we have simple present tense. These bases are made in Korea. Present perfect. The Mona Lisa has been kept at the Louvre Museum since 1797. Okay, you need to use the verb to be when you talk about the passive voice. Okay, it's something that you cannot avoid. It's something that is mandatory to use. I mean, you cannot think about passive voice without the verb to be, right? Always must be present in any kind of tense. It could be present, it could be past, it could be participle, it could be present perfect, could be future, whatever, right? But the most important is you have to use it. Okay, pretty cool. Now, number three, it is common to use the passive voice when the performer of the action is not known or not important. So what does it mean, this guys? It means that the particle by is only used if you consider that the performer of the action is important. Yes, for example, in the case of Picasso painted Guernica, Picasso is important because, by the way, he was a very famous artist. So we must include it into the sentence. That's why we say Guernica was painted by Picasso. But for example, everyone, if you have like a piece of art and you don't know the performer, but it's beautiful and you like it, so you say, okay, that painting, that picture or that painting was painted in Colombia. In that case, as we don't know the performer, it is not necessary to mention it. Do you understand that? Let me know in the on the chat if you understand it. If not, of course, you can come back to the explanation in order that you can get the idea. So let's come back to the example that we have in the third explanation. Pottery is made in many parts of the world, right? Pottery is a kind of art. It's the art, for example, to create dishes, to create flowers, to create mugs, right? So pottery is made in many parts of the world. In this context, pottery is in general, right? So there is not a specific performer that creates this kind of things, but we have a lot of people, right? In this context, it's not necessary to use by, right? You can avoid it because what I said, it's not important the performer. Okay, finally, guys, use a by phrase in passive voice sentences when it's important to identify the performer of an action. This dress was designed by Donatella Versace. It's important. This bowl was found in Costa Rica. Not important. You know? So we are like taking into account what we have just explained. Um, in the first example, the performer Donatella Versace is important. I mean, most of the people knows this woman, which is an important designer of clothes. So in this case, you say, okay, yes, my dress was designed by Versace, by Donatella, right? So, but what happens if you, for example, buy a dress in a common store here in Colombia, right? At any of those clothing stores, and you don't know he created that dress, right? So in those contexts, it's not necessary to use by because first of all you don't know who did it, and secondly, um, it's not important to know that. So you can say my dress was designed in Colombia. Finish. That's all. You can just give me the reference of the place in which the object was created, and that's all. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I think that's it about explanation. As you already know, the one of the advantages of these classes is that they are being recorded. So if maybe you are not sure about a topic, you can come back and you can review it, right? So thank you guys for that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, in order to practice with our grammar, we are going to read. Yeah, guys, I know that you like to read a lot, so we're going to read. Give me 1 second. If you want to take a screenshot of the explanation, that would be amazing. Okay, guys, so we're going to uh, represent a conversation. In this conversation, the passive voice is presented. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to show you. Okay, so here we have it, the conversation, right? So you guys, you are going to be person A, and I'm going to be person B. So, so you can start. Really? Was that? No kidding. I've always wanted to see that. Thanks for the suggestion. Okay, guys. Can you maybe identify if in the conversation we have passive voice? Okay. If you say no, you're okay. Actually, we don't have passive voice in the conversation, but just of course that we can use it. For example, they are talking about a picture that is very famous, which is Las Meninas, right? So you can say Las Meninas, which was painted by Diego Velázquez, right? In, I don't know, I'm going to invent because I don't know the date, in 1994, for example, right? So you can say, oh yes, you wanna see that piece of art, which is Las Meninas, which was created or which was designed or which was uh, developed, you know. So something that you must take into account, guys, is that you always have to use the verb to be with the passive voice. And you always must use verb to be with participle verbs. In passive voice, it is not possible to use the basic form of the verb. Okay, never do that, please. Okay, guys. So now we are going to do some exercises. Okay, and what is the idea, guys? The idea is that you complete. We're going to focus on the exercise B, right? This exercise. So, guys, we have grammar practice. Change each sentence from the active to the passive voice. Use a by phrase. So here we have 6 sentences, and you have to turn them into passive voice. Okay? So for doing this exercise, guys, you will have 15 minutes. Okay? To complete the class, you have to accomplish these objectives. So, guys, stop the video, finish all those exercises. By the way, you must write them down in a piece of paper, please. Okay, and then you can come back and we will discuss the answers. Okay, so let's go. Okay, guys, thank you. How was that? It was easy. I hope yes. I hope yes, right? So, guys, we're going to go with the number one. So get ready with your notepad and let's check what mistakes do you have. Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa in 16th century. So the passive voice would be, first, remember, you need the predicate or the object. In this case, the object is the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci in the 16th century. Number two, Brazilian photographer Sebastião Salgado took the photograph in 2007. Can you identify the object? Yes, it is. That photograph was photographed by Brazilian Sebastião Salgado. That photograph was taken by Sebastião Salgado in 2007. Okay, number three. Mexican filmmaker Alejandro Gonzalez directed Babel in 2006. Babel was directed by Mexican filmmaker Alejandro Gonzalez in 2006. Okay, guys. Oh, how are you until this point? Are you going well? I believe yes. Number four. Japanese master printmaker Katsushika Okusai made that print over a century ago. So that print was made by Japanese master printmaker Yatsuchika Okusai in or over a century ago. Let's go with number five. Korean fashion designer Sang Improv created these beautiful handbags. These beautiful handbags were designed by Korean fashion Sang Improv. Number six. Middle Eastern weavers have produced beautiful presents rugs for centuries. Beautiful present rugs were okay have been produced by Middle Eastern weavers for centuries. Okay, guys, very good job. I am sure that you have done a pretty good job. And well, thank you for your time. Just to finish this class, I recommend you as an additional class, as an additional activity. Okay, what you can do is to yes to to record yourselves showing three random objects to the camera and describe them using passive voice. For example, guys, you can use, okay, the cell phone, right? This cell phone was developed by Motorola in 2022, right? This hoodie was made by Colombian artist in 2022. For example, is it that is a very good exercise you can do in order to improve your grammar. Okay, guys. So thank you very much. I hope you have a good time, and we'll see you in the next time. See you later.